So almost 10 years ago, my wife actually started to work in the field and got involved with our church, had a summit in the local area. And then when I came into office, she asked me to really get involved in human trafficking. As a result, my very first bill I ever filed helped to set up the Florida Alliance for Human Trafficking through that bill. The fight against human trafficking is a niche thing. However, human trafficking has really become mainstream. And I say that because you're seeing it more and more on television shows, you're seeing it mentioned in award shows, you're seeing it within magazine articles. So the awareness is finally getting out there. Unfortunately, what's not getting out there is the actual material to be able to stop this. It's something that we're seeing over and over again appearing in society, appearing in everyday world, and until we get a stronger amount of enforcement and we lower the demand for this, we will not see an end to this scourge.
Human trafficking is different from other crimes because victims don't come forward. A lot of times they don't even know that they're victims.
It's a hidden crime. A lot of people don't see it, and they don't understand how to recognize it if they do see it.
Florida has the unfortunate distinction of having the third most phone calls and reports to the National Human Trafficking Hotline in America. That makes Florida the third worst state in the nation for human trafficking, behind Texas and California.
It really is taking advantage of the vulnerabilities of someone for a commercial purpose. That's what trafficking is.
What we can do is make it difficult for people to traffic by educating.
Whether it be the law enforcement community, whether it be in the judiciary, whether it be in the legislation, whether it be in the general public, in the business community, the civic, the faith-based.
We need to partner with corporations, with organizations, with strong voices to get this message out. That we have zero tolerance for human trafficking in Florida, for sex trafficking of women and children, for labor trafficking of the innocent.
And that means law enforcement working with NGOs. That means NGOs working with the general public. That means the general public working with the legislation. It means the legislation working with the judiciary. You can see this whole network that has to have a cohesive strategy to really end human trafficking. But we also need everyone getting engaged in some capacity so that we can effectively make this change.
Not many people in the audience know this, but we are at the forefront of the fight to end human trafficking right here in Florida. We have an attorney general who is a former prosecutor, former judge, a mother of 2 boys, and she has dedicated herself to ending this crime in Florida. Under her leadership, Florida is going to become the template for how states fight human trafficking around the country. It is my great honor to introduce to you all tonight the greatest warrior in the fight against human trafficking in the United States, our great Attorney General, Ashley Moody.
The Florida Alliance to End Human Trafficking is a nonprofit organization created by the Florida legislature to provide funding, support, and assistance to the statewide effort to end human trafficking. So far, they have led the drive of Ashley Moody's passion to fight human trafficking in Florida by funding and creating programs to help educate the public about how to spot human trafficking and what to do if you see something suspicious.
When we had certain folks reaching out saying, how can I be part of your mission? I'm just somebody that started a business in my community and really cares about the people in my community, and I want to be a part of this. I want to be a partner. What can I do to be most effective? We said, train your employees.
Any large event that attracts a lot of people, we see our human trafficking cases go up. So when Florida was awarded 2 Super Bowls back to back, we started partnering with businesses that could help us spread the signs of what to look out for, because we knew this would be happening. We partnered with Uber, trained all of their drivers on what to spot. We trained hotel workers throughout the Miami area. We trained community leaders, hospital workers, worked with law enforcement and prosecutors down there. And as a result, we rescued 22 victims. of trafficking, including juveniles.
The two programs that started this education campaign was Highway Heroes, training truck drivers, led by the office of Ashley Moody.
And right after that Super Bowl, we immediately said, what did we do? What could we do better? And launched into the next year. We didn't even take a breath. We partnered with the Florida Highway Safety Motor Vehicles to ensure that all of our truck drivers in Florida were trained.
The second program was the 100% Club, which is a strategic action to train the public from various industries at a more rapid rate.
We've got a great training. We did that through Florida Alliance to End Human Trafficking. So we started the 100% Club. Today, we are announcing a new initiative to stop human trafficking in Florida, and that is called the 100% Club. That means a business that wants to be a partner, that wants to be vital in this mission, can say, I will sign up, I will make that 100% commitment to training 100% of my employees and making sure that that information on how they report is available, that they have it on hand, and they can call the right number to report it. And on the back, we have established one number for the state of Florida to call and report human trafficking to law enforcement. When we had great businesses reaching out, asking, what can we do? How can we be better? How can we be partners? Like PGT and Jeff Jackson, we said, this is how you can do it.
I'm Jeff Jackson. I'm president and CEO of PGT Innovations. PGT is actually Florida's biggest window and door company. We're the largest employer for the manufacturing of windows. But here in Sarasota and the Tri-County area, we're the largest private employer. So our folks are involved in the community daily. We have an internship program here at PGT. Every summer, we bring in college students to intern, and as part of the process, all interns at the end of their 3-year summer internship present to the executive team ideas or what they've learned or some project they've worked on. Well, you get all kinds of projects, mainly engineers, because we hire a lot of engineers or manufacturing, some in HR, and some in marketing. Well, this particular internship, everyone presented, and there was one presentation over human trafficking. And I was proud to say that was from my daughter, McKenna Jackson at the time, now McKenna Tansky.
Growing up, I knew what human trafficking was. I knew it was out there through different campaigns that nonprofits would put on. 821 would do the campaign where you put a little red X on your hand for a day, and that would, spread awareness about trafficking. So I knew what it was from that, but I didn't know how prevalent it was in our society and how hidden it was until I was able to go on different mission trips and until I entered the modeling industry. In the modeling industry specifically, I witnessed young models who often go into the industry very young, very naive, trusting of the industry and just the good in people. And predators, unfortunately, will take advantage of that and do take advantage of that daily. So for example, at many photo shoots, models are asked to perform sexual tasks or make the product more sexualized because sex sells. And if the model refuses, the photographer will go back to the agency and say that she didn't meet expectations, and then she will not get paid. And then the agency will drop her, or they'll use that as a leverage to be like, hey, since you didn't do this job, you have to do this job. And they get caught in this cycle of repeating and repeating at the whims of powerful people and their agents. I feel like my passion in life is to care for people and to make sure that people are happy. And this cause specifically just, I guess, is targeted at that because the people who are trapped in this are constantly shown and told that they're not worth anything, that they're an object, which isn't true.
It starts with business. We can't depend on government for all the solutions. Businesses have to take a stance. So to join the 100 Club and to train all the people at PGT, if you think about all the folks and everything they do day in and day out, whether that's vacation in hotels, whether that's eating in restaurants, you can, if you're trained to spot those signs, you can make a difference.
The most eye-opening thing that I got from it is the fact that it happens a lot more often than we realize. Human trafficking is actually a big deal, and prior to going through any of this training, it's something that I may not have noticed or may not have realized from the beginning.
Just seeing the team members rally behind something so important and something so close to my heart, it gives me hope that there's like an actual end to this, that it's not all powerful and not, you know, not something that's unstoppable.
Probably one of the most detrimental things that I've seen is the loss of public confidence. And the loss of public confidence comes when the messaging of the movement is so fragmented. Some of the detrimental messagings that are out there are those who want to put it into the context of so sensational that it loses the sense of reality. And so the minute we start taking the lived experience, the victim survivors and their lived experiences out of the messaging and out of the cause and the mission of human trafficking and simply put it into this theoretical, sensational, Hollywood style of human trafficking, we lose the movement.
Human trafficking is not an easy subject to think about or discuss, but the reason it has been able to increase rapidly is the very nature of letting it exist in the shadows. It is now the goal of the states, of law enforcement, of organizations, and even businesses to turn the light on and expose what is happening in the shadows, so that people are no longer exploited.
I've heard about human trafficking. I didn't connect that at first with me being trafficked because it was my mom that sold me. The best way I know to increase awareness and education is just by having more people talk about it. Awareness is key to prevention. If you see something, you need to report it, and you never know who around you is being trafficked if you don't know what to look for.
I think it's always been there. We called human trafficking something different, and I think we recognized it, but it wasn't a part of our world, so we ignored it. And it was easier to ignore something that was so painful to watch. It's not been seen by people because we haven't educated them on it. We need to educate people in our schools, in our restaurants, in our hotels, in our shopping centers. We just need to educate the general public so that they're aware of what's happening. Once that happens, then there will be a general awareness where we can bring it to the legislature and say, what can we do better from a statutory standpoint to make it easier to prosecute these crimes and to bring justice for the victims?
Taking a step forward is not difficult, but it does take some action. Go to youcanstopht.com/training. There, you can access an application for the 100% Club. Fill out an application that only takes 5 minutes. You will receive an email asking you to show a training video to your employees. Once you have shown and trained your team, notify the state that you have completed the training. You will then be part of the 100% Club, showing that you are taking a step forward in this movement to end this heinous crime.
We know that when someone shows that they're willing to do it and that they care about an issue, others will follow.
It's an incredible blight on this society. In the U.S., we actually have human trafficking slavery in today's economy and environment. We own this. As a corporation, as a company, we own this. As business leaders, we have to do this. We have to make a difference.
Our law enforcement, they're doing an excellent job. They're doing an excellent job with the tools that they have, but they need the community to be their eyes and ears. The more people that are educated, the more opportunity we will have to report what we see to law enforcement so that they can do their job. Our goal is to educate as many people as we possibly can. Please learn the signs of human trafficking. Please help our law enforcement be a part of the community that helps us report these crimes so that we can bring justice for our victims.